So I'm not satisfied because you don't twist my nipples. Welcome to Outlandish, the podcast where we explore the funny side of sex and relationships, the good stuff and the bad. I'm Lisa Nash.
And I'm Melanie Cameron. Each episode, we look at the hot topics everyone's talking about in the media relating to sex and relationships. So expect a lot of laughs, a whole load of real talk mixed in with some super special guests.
And joining us today, we've got Gweneth Lee, a world-famous mistress who's been talked about online, on TV, and pretty much everywhere else, to be honest. We'll be getting in some insight into what it's like being a mistress who sleeps with rich married men.
Ooh. Well, before we get on with the good stuff, make sure you click on the follow button on Apple Podcasts and Spotify so you can subscribe to Outlandish.
Always.
Hello, Lisa.
Hello, Mel.
How are you? You are so full of beans.
I know. Do you know what? I feel really good today.
Good.
So do you know what? For our listeners, I'm not tired for a change.
Do you know? No, you look great. You sound great. You're full of beans. I like it. I'm here for it.
Yes. Well, do you know? Yeah, it's been a good week so far.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
Everything's good. You know.
Good.
Yeah. The weather's been a bit nicer this week. It's not been so rainy. Yeah, everything's okay.
So you're positive Lil this week.
Yes,
I like
I'm
it.
positive. I'm positive.
Well,
So I hope all the listeners are positive too.
Well, normally we start this with really tired.
Yeah,
It's
we're
been
really
hard
tired.
week. I'm not going to be positive Lil because
But you look fab.
All right, now I'm positive.
Yeah.
Thank you. No, I was moaning earlier on because I've done what I always do and I've said yes to too many things, overbooked myself.
She just explained her itinerary this weekend and that makes me tired.
I feel sick thinking about it.
Yeah. But it's great to be busy. Listen, it's good and you're great at what you do. And I don't know if you want to share with everybody what you're up to.
So I just got a bit of a busy week work-wise. And then the weekend, I've got some gigs. So I'm hosting a couple of clubs, a UKG brunch. Then I'm at the Brit Awards on Saturday night.
I did ask for a +1, but you know.
I'm getting there. Leave it with me.
I used to go many years ago, but
it's
coming back.
And then it's Ashley, who you all know by now. It's his 40th.
Oh, amazing.
He's getting old. It's time to trade him in for a young
Sorry, how
mother.
old are you? We won't go there.
So let's move on.
Yeah, let's move on.
No, so this week, I was saying the reason I am so tired is because of bloody TikTok. So
basically, you are watching TikTok late at night, even though your eyelids are falling and sleeping, but yet you stay up.
this is why you can't feel sorry for me. It's all my fault.
This is like when a mum says to the child, go to sleep, turn your iPad off. And as always, we've got this really weird reverse kind of relationship. She looks like the child, right? I look like the smart kind of like business lady, but I act like the child. And she knows she's a smart business one. So I think this is just like a false kind of I wouldn't say persona, image.
I like it. Reverse image.
Yeah.
We're like Google reverse image.
Yeah.
I was on TikTok last night scrolling, as you do, and you're right. That's exactly what I do. I get into bed and I think, right, I'm gonna have an early night, and then I start scrolling, and before I know it, there's an hour of my life I'm never gonna get back. But you
do know that they do say the professionals out there. Do not go on your phone before you go to sleep, because then you can't sleep.
No, you can't. But what I do have is new cleaning hacks and some new recipes for my air fryer. But no, there was this particular... I went on it for a reason. So I keep seeing this TikTok creator that's gone viral. Her name's Risa Mtisa. And she has become an absolute internet sensation. So basically...
We was briefly talking about this.
Yeah.
It sounds amazing.
It's amazing. So
we need to come up with our own concept about this. But
when I tell you what has happened as a result of this, yes, we are going to have to. So basically, she was in a relationship that didn't turn out the way she expected it. And there was lots of things that... it became uncovered as the story went along, and she decided to document it on TikTok. And the series is,
Do you know what? Sorry to interrupt you. There's a lot of that
No, you're
going
not.
on. No, I know. I just like, you're talking too long. I need my voice.
shut up.
But there's a lot of that out there. You know, like the Netflix series about, you know, I married the wrong man or I
Yes.
married a fake. So there's a lot of that going on.
So
and people
much.
are coming out and exposing these men, which can only be a good thing.
Well,
Well,
let me
I'm sure
tell
it's,
you.
it's. I don't always like to say just about the men because obviously women do the same
Yeah.
thing. So it's
Well, this had me gripped.
really.
So the series is called Who the F Did I Marry? And it's this American woman, and you just get captivated by her. And she's just sat.
Is she a good storyteller?
She's
then?
the best. She literally.
See, that's
But what I love about her is
That's the
she's
key, isn't it?
just sat in her car and she's driving. And so she's mounted the phone and she's like,
so it's not even like a proper setup.
no,
it's just in the car.
She's just said that this was cathartic to her, so she wanted to get it
Mm.
out. And also, she said, if it could stop somebody else going through the pain that I went through, just one person, it's worth it. But what has happened is this has gone viral, like super, super viral. People are talking about it everywhere. And I literally went through and watched 50 episodes. Now, they're
15.
50, 50.
Right, okay.
And they're like 10 minutes long. I can't even tell you how many
okay.
hours I spent, but my eyes were hanging out of my head. But I was like, I have to know how this finishes. So she starts every.
It's research for today.
Well, that's.
Well, we'll put it down to that.
That's what I was doing.
That's what it was.
That's
No,
what I
that
was
subconscious
doing.
kind of like.
But it's
thought
so it's called
process.
Who the F Did I Marry? And
Right.
it's so funny because every episode she starts with Who the F Did I Marry part 42. And then she's like, so
How many parts?
the 50 plus.
So you watched 50 last night. So there's 50.
No, it was like on the train journey home. I got in and then I would like cook some dinner and I've got TikTok on in the background. It just went on through my whole evening. But the lovely thing is, so
that's why she didn't answer any of my calls.
no, it's because you're blocked. I'm joking. I always answer your calls. Yeah, so the part of the story, and I don't want to ruin it for anyone because it really is amazing. It's an amazing watch. Was this guy had promised to take her to London, and it was her dream, and they were going to fly on British Airways, and then they were going to stay at the Savoy, and it was all just a dream, and it was lovely, and it was all a lie, basically. So in one of her later videos, she's like, you know what? I am going to come to London. And so give me your recommendations. Well, I don't know if that was smart or whatever. But in the comments, I started reading Delta Airlines. They're like,
No way.
we got you. We'll get your flights first class. And then below that is like,
Not even just standard, first class.
first class. And then Hilton are like, well, you're going to need somewhere to stay in London. We got you, girl. It's amazing.
Oh my God.
So there's a really happy ending. But just before we started recording, I went on to check I had her name right. And the husband has been located and is now doing a rebuttal. So it's almost like there's a second series.
Oh my gosh.
I need to get a life, don't I?
No, I love it though.
But yeah.
See, you know when I talk about that, I need to go onto TikTok more, and I am, but I haven't even seen this. So,
but listen, I will send
but
you.
saying that, I've had a very busy week doing other stuff. So, but
having a life, you mean?
yeah. Well, I've just been out quite a lot, really. Yeah. So living life recently. So it's really good.
See, you've been out living life.
Yeah.
I've been living life via other people via a screen.
But I've been doing that while I was on my detox for the whole month of January.
That's
so
true.
Yeah,
That's true.
So, but I'm listen. That's what I'm doing tonight when I go home.
I'm going to send you the links and you can talk about it on next week's episode because, yeah, it's wild. And it just shows you that, you know, as we know, relationships, everyone wants to talk about them. The good, the bad, the ugly, the wild,
Everything.
the crazy.
And also, I think there's so many people that go through this kind of thing and they probably feel embarrassed, feel shame. And that's one of the big things that are attached to relationships when they go wrong or someone's made a fool of you. So
hit
that
the nail on
is,
the head.
yes, that's the key, isn't it?
What she said
We're
is...
going to expose you, motherfuckers.
yeah. What she said was, I'm going to tell you the truth, whether it makes me look good and whether it makes me look bad. I'm just going to give it to you.
Yeah.
And I think it's her honesty because
People are drawn to you, you know.
she said this one line when she was like, oh, another red flag, another red flag. And then she's
But
like,
ignored all of them.
She ignored them all.
Well,
we all do.
that's,
We've
that's
all
what I was
been
gonna
there.
say. It's a very common thing to do, isn't it?
She said it got to the point where this was not even. This was the Olympics of red flags.
Wow.
It was so many red flags. But
Well, thank you for sharing all of that with us.
yeah, because you become desensitized. But yeah, guys, if you've been part of that viral TikTok and you've watched it, just let us know what you think because yeah.
And like we always say, we talk about stories that we know, and I mean, a lot of the time it is to do with a woman and a man kind of doing the wrong thing to the woman, but there's a lot of women that do the wrong thing to the man. So it's not a
There's
sexist
also
kind of show.
a lot of men that do bad things to men and women that do bad things to women.
Exactly.
It's just relationships in general.
Exactly. Right, we've got loads to talk about.
We have.
As always this week. Do you want to hit us off with the first story?
Okay, I have got a story which is a little bit depressing.
Oh, okay.
Well, it's depressing if you live in the UK. So Love Honey did a survey on...
We love a survey, don't we?
Love a survey.
Well, it's good to know all the stats that are out there and what's going on, isn't it? And they
numbers
get...
nerd.
Yeah, you are a bit of a... She's the tech one, you see. I'm the one that just doesn't get the words out properly.
When she says, oh, you're the technical one, that's because I know how to push a button or use a printer, which she has learned.
Yeah, I have... Hold on, I do the printing. But yeah.
Hold on, before we start, I just want to say this. Do you remember Lisa the other week was talking about how organised she was? Do you have
to do this?
Oh, generally I am quite organised. Just today I forgot my brush. I walked in today. Have you got any makeup with you? I've left my whole makeup bag at home.
And the brush, and I left my straighteners here last week. And luckily they were turned off because when we actually spoke, I was like, oh my God, have I left them on? Listen, blonde moments.
You know I love you. So, Love Honey did a survey and it was about the areas in which people are least sexually satisfied. And in the UK...
What areas in the world?
Europe.
Okay.
Sorry, my
so
bad.
not areas on the body.
No.
So I'm not satisfied because you don't twist my nipples. Or like,
I didn't even think of it like, see, this is how our brains work differently.
it's one of the perfect match, babe.
Perfect couple. Oh, if only my actual relationship was as great as this. Sorry, Ash. The UK is the least sexually satisfied country in Europe.
Really?
Yes.
So we haven't, like us Brits, so to speak, we haven't got the love.
We haven't got the love. So 37% said they were happy. 39% said, meh, somewhat. 24% said, no, not at all. I am
really
not satisfied sexually.
Does that mean that they're not getting it, or they're just not getting touched or pleasured in the right aspects?
They're not satisfied with
I know I'm questioning
the
you.
levels that they're getting.
Yeah.
So yeah, not good for Brits. And around the rest of Europe, number one, go on, have a guess where number one was.
I'm going to say...
Europe.
Spain.
Yes!
I've been to Spain many times.
Muy bien.
Ah.
Very good. That's the extent of my Spanish. 58% of Spanish that were interviewed as part of this survey.
What about the Americans?
Well, they're not in Europe.
No. Oh, yeah. Sorry, we're just in Europe at the moment. Okay.
Someone stick a fork in it because I'm done.
My brain goes, it's that kind of thing. It just works overtime before I think.
The Spanish 58% followed by the French at 53%. Now,
that's quite an interesting fact. Aren't they supposed? The French have been known to be quite
good lovers.
Good lovers.
Très bien, lovers.
Je m'appelle Lisa Nash.
What was Nash?
Nash.
You sounded like Nash,
Well,
you were from Nashville.
Well, it could be like Je m'appelle Lisa Nash. That wouldn't really work, would it?
Do you know what you sounded like then? Do you know when you
I don't think I want to hear
they
this.
go, your call cannot be taken. Please leave a message for Ben. That's what you sounded like then.
Well, that's,
Your call cannot be taken. Please leave a message for Tracy.
Or Lisa.
I've gone back into.
Okay, right. So we've got Spanish and French coming
gone
in
back
second.
into voiceover mode.
Yeah.
Switzerland at 45% and Germany at 43%. Now, the reason, with the Spanish, I always think of them as very passionate, very fiery, just romantic.
And I love the language. It's my favourite language.
Me too. The fact that I lived in Spain for many years and my Spanish is so atrocious. I really tried.
I know all my colours. Go and test me.
So go on. Right, red.
Rojo.
I know that because I used to say rojo vinos.
Yes,
Red
there you
wine.
go.
Por favor. Blue.
Azul.
Azul. Yellow.
It's been a while. Amarillo.
Are you sure?
No. Go on, say green. Green's my favourite. That's the one I was hoping you'd say first. It's.
I was trying not to do. Like I was trying to keep it with the primary colours and keep it simple. I thought, purple, no, don't do that to Amarillo. Show me the way to Amarillo. Is that show me the way to yellow?
Yeah, so green is
Great.
birthday. Let's move on with the colours. Oh my God, I'm crying. We're only a few minutes in. Okay, so what else you got?
Anyway, Spain, they're having all the good sex and the UK are having none.
It's a bad state of
can't-
affairs, actually, isn't it?
You speak now, Lisa.
Right,
Verde.
so verde.
Verde.
I was going to try and say the skies are azul, but I don't know how to say the skies.
Well, the sky's not Amarillo, is it?
Definitely not.
Amarillo.
Right, so listen, my favourite subject, as most of you know, well, do you know
Kinks,
what?
is it kinks?
Yeah,
I knew it.
Do you know what? The mad thing is, if you'd have asked me this before this podcast, that would never have been my favourite subject. But these days, I'm loving the
I think
kinks.
we should change your Instagram handle to Lisa Kink Nash.
I know. So so the kinks. So obviously, we always like to touch on the kink side of things. Definitely a bit kinky.
That was a Freudian slip.
So, there's now, the Bed Bible, they've actually released something talking about, there's over 200 kinks that people are into. Okay. Now, so one of them, guess what the top one is? Go on, have a little guess.
We
We love to get our engineers involved. So what do you think?
give us a...
What do you reckon the most
kink.
favourite kink is that people are into, like a fetish?
Feet.
There you go. Oh my gosh. See, and do you know
Is
what
it number one?
It's number
I'm
one.
starting a feet TikTok. I'm doing OnlyFans for feet. Only feet. I don't know why I'm hitting myself.
Okay, she's only asking for a friend as well, by the way.
No, I'm not. You bad boys will get to work.
I know I've got lovely feet as well. Actually,
Buy mama a house.
So that's actually called podophilia. That's what it's called, podophilia. Yeah. So then
So you can shout at someone, "I'll shut up, you podophilic."
Yeah, sounds
It's such
like
a podophiliac.
you're, you're cursing someone. And the second one is the kink is crying. So someone actually crying, or I don't know whether this is a bit kind of a bit weird.
God.
Can you imagine you're making love to them and they just start crying? You're like, is that a good thing or a bad thing, or are you disappointed?
But what? The people enjoy somebody else crying.
So it could be classed either way, really. So they could see it as them like tears of joy.
Right.
Like, oh my God, that feels so good. Oh, please carry on. And that is actually called dacrophilia. I do apologise if I got that wrong, which is a very high possibility. Then
it's 50-50.
Yeah. And then we've got monster fetish. I'm not quite sure what the actual name of that is. So that is like, I think someone just dressing up like a weird, like a scary mask or something.
Oh no!
Can you imagine, or someone coming from under the bed and going, no.
Oh, that's just like...
But I think people like that. And I think it's the danger thing, isn't it? Because you've also got the criminal kind of fetish, the kink kind of like, that they're in danger and it's like...
I can see that there's a thrill in danger. The mask thing, though.
Yeah.
Under your bed.
Something along those lines. So I don't know whether this all includes role play, which it probably does. I'll be the detective. You be the murder victim.
Let's play CSI.
Yeah. But the nice one. And also there's urine kink. Obviously,
urine. Oh, the peeing.
Yeah, so the peeing. But obviously all of this is like, I think, you know, if you are interested in having any of these kind of kinky situations.
Call Lisa.
I've got all the info. It might not be right, but
Call Lisa because she'll tell you what it's called in a really bad way.
I make up my own. I've got my own language coming out.
She's got Lisa-isms.
But it is like, I think, a partner opening up about their kind of sexual desires or their kinks and that. It's important. But again, it's the key of communication.
Dicey though, isn't it? It's dicey.
But I think you've got to say, if you said like, oh, like just pretend.
I don't even like where this is going.
Pretend I'm Ashley, yeah? And you wanted to open up and tell me about your sexual desires. But then it's really important for me to tell you about mine. So it's a communication thing. But also, please do these in a safe and secure way.
I've still got, in my head, I've still got, what's that coming over the hill? Is it a monster?
Whoa!
It's in my head. Wow.
So they're
still number one is feet. Oh, that just confirms it for me. Only fans for feet. Apparently.
But I think there's a lot.
Apparently, it's not as easy. It's quite a lot of foot competition.
Yeah, I think a lot of people do. I mean, I look at feet. Don't you look at feet? I look at hands. If you've got dirty fingernails.
Yeah, no, but I don't. I'm not a fan of feet. But I've got very small feet. Which I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad. It's great for me because I get trainers in junior size, so it's a winner.
Oh, do you know what? I still get trainers in junior size.
It.
But I have to squeeze my feet.
She's got mash up battered feet.
Well, you know, I think we touched on this before as well, actually. But I'm a size 6, so I can get juniors in some.
I'm a 3.5 to a 4.
So no, that's not called junior. That's called kids. How do you stand up? Do you not topple over? And then balance me.
But do you know what I will say? I would if I could remember what I was going to say. Apparently, the cake sitting, they do a lot of that stuff with feet as well.
Oh, do they? What, so you put your foot in it as well?
Yeah, the food with the feet.
Yeah, there's a feedism. Oh my God, how did I even remember that? I've been researching kinks. It's called feedism fetish.
She's been researching.
I know. After she told me that I don't do the proper research.
Asking for a friend.
Yeah, so there's loads. Basically, there's over 200. So if any of our listeners, you're into something, spicing up your new sex life, not even new, your sex life, your current sex life, should I say, and you're into doing something different, trying it out. Like I said before, make sure that you do speak to your partner and you don't
just whip out a mask. Grab them round the neck as they come through the door. On them.
Sorry, I just thought you'd like it.
What do you mean? Oh, is this not all right?
Right, listen, we're going to move on. So we've got another one that we're going to talk about. And this one, again, like Mel, whenever we speak about... I'm going to divert all of this onto Mel. Like we'd speak about any particular job that you can get and you can earn money. So remember you was auditioning for going on one of the...
Audio porn.
The audio porn.
Yep.
Well, this one is you can sell your dirty underwear. Well, let's rephrase that. Not dirty, used. And there's a lady, again, this always happens in America and kind of floods over to us. So there's this lady.
Wait, why do you assume that why did you talk about me wanting to get into jobs and then talk to me about dirty underwear?
No, not the dirty underwear. That's why I
you rephrased it.
Rephrased it to, no, but you just say, I could have money like that.
Well, I know that there is a woman.
Do you want me to tell you the job application first?
There was a woman, I saw it, and she catches farts in a glass jar.
How is that even possible?
I swear to God, she sells them for a fortune.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, this lady, so she did. That's like.
How do you find a market for this? Asking for a friend.
Well, this lady, so she earns up to £4,000 a month.
Shut up.
So she. Shut up!
I will not.
Those long vowels again.
Nah.
So she's only young. She's at uni, And obviously she needed a little side hustle and a little bit of money.
That's not a side hustle. That's a decent salary.
Isn't it? That's like paying mortgage, going out, having fun, holidays. We were talking about this earlier. Need more holidays in our lives. So anyway, this is why I'm sharing my thoughts with you, Mel.
So we could go to Ibiza on the back of some knickers.
So basically, so what you do, and this particular lady was saying, so she'll wear an outfit. I mean, there is a little bit of kind of conversation. This is the only thing. And I didn't find out the exact website, so I couldn't actually look myself.
I did find the exact website and bookmark it and send it to myself via email in case I lost it.
But yeah, so she was explaining that she can wear, like, say, a set of underwear, and she can do the cooking, for example. They like it. They want to see the video. There's no kind of, interaction, so to speak.
They
She
just
never
want to know
meets
that
them.
she's been on her.
Yeah, it's been on her. And then, so even if she has it, if they have a request for a particular, colour, or, if it's red or lace or something and she hasn't got it, she can always just order it on Amazon or
Ann Summers via
yeah, I was gonna
Deliveroo.
say, so nice and quickly, and then she can send it off to them. Also, there is a request for soiling, but she's declined that. But she said that her.
I mean, how much would it be for soil?
I don't know. You're still asking. See, that's what I mean. I know she's interested.
I mean, what?
No, but she's declined on that. But she said the worst week that she's ever earned, and the least amount of money is $1,400, and the max is $4,000. So it's quite
In a
lot.
week?
But yes, but I made a note.
They pay for a pair of knickers.
Well, it's up to like, I think she's working quite a lot, because I think it's about £70. But I mean,
She's working a lot.
yeah, but they're also interested if she's just wearing some tights, a skirt, it could be, a dress. So it's not just underwear. But I do think, it doesn't really tell you loads from this story that I read, but I think it is it's even though she doesn't meet them, I think it might be a little bit of a video call or something, or so it depends if you're comfortable with that. If you're happy with your friends and family, might log on and.
Well, that would be a shock, wouldn't it?
Do you know what I mean,
Dad?
So,
Oh my God.
so I was just looking for underwear for your mum. That'd be wrong, wouldn't it?
Oh, I feel dirty.
Yeah. But the thing is, she's now got like 20 regular customers.
Okay.
And she's also said that she feels like they're friends. She talks to them and kind of like.
I ain't got any friends that want to buy my knickers.
No, I'm not sure that. I'm sure they're not kind of ones that she's had for years.
They're not a pair of like ripped up old Primark pants.
Yeah, they're just like at the back of the drawer when you get them out every now and again. Not sure why you get them out, but. You know what I'm saying.
Well, I don't know. As you get older, I think I start to look at going, comfort over.
Yeah, comfort. It
Yeah.
is. But enough about our big pants. Well, Bridget Jones is coming back out, isn't it? So, it's
Is
a
it?
very... Yeah, they've got a new film coming out.
No, they have not.
Have you not seen that on TikTok, babe?
No, I've just been down the TikTok.
So the big pants are back in fashion.
Wait, so is Renee Zellweger going back to play Bridget?
Well, she's the only Bridget, yeah.
Yeah, but is she? Are they like?
I think so. I don't know. I haven't read the whole storyline. I just
See how she tried to then. Is she's the only Bridget? I know. I'm saying, is she going?
No,
is she reprising her role as Bridget Jones?
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm
Mr.
pretty sure.
Darcy.
Yeah, I love that film.
Oh, me
And you
too.
know what? It's just a nice, comforting film, isn't it? So, but anyway, moving on. We have a wonderful guest today.
excited
We've
about
got
our
Gweneth Lee, and she's the mistress that sleeps with all the married men.
She's been a bit of an internet sensation. She's all over TV, radio, and magazines, and.
And another job for you, because she earns a fortune, apparently.
Yeah, I'm in all of the wrong jobs. So let's see if Gwyneth can't help a bitch out.
Well, listen, welcome to our podcast, Outlandish. Lovely to see you in person here. Thank you for coming on the show.
So but before we go any further, we have to just say the lovely Gwyneth is joining us from
California.
sunnier climes. So it's morning for you right now, isn't it?
Yes, it is. I'm in Palm Springs, California. I arrived back home here yesterday.
Oh,
But you do spend half your time in London, I read.
Yeah,
Is that, yeah?
I flew in from. My mom is American. She lives here, so I literally. Gosh, it's just such great weather here. After being in London for 2 straight weeks, I was happy to get out of the rain.
yeah, it's miserable.
I was going to say, we've had the worst weather ever here, haven't we?
Awful.
It really is. Gwyneth, Lisa and I were talking before we started. We're so excited to talk to you because you are such an interesting story. And I mean, we do our research before our guests come on, and there is so much. There's so much about you all over TV, online, and we were like, oh, there's so many things I want to ask. So. For our listeners and our viewers that don't know you, could you just give us a little bit about your background and how we've come to this situation?
Absolutely. I'll explain a little bit, and I'm going to apologize because they're building a house across the street from me. So if you hear drilling or Spanish speaking, you'll know what it is. Anyways, I think I kind of came to fame in the UK for being London's most prolific mistress. I had done an interview, I don't even know how many years ago, about a couple of my affairs I was having, predominantly one that went on for about 10 years with the shipping magnate. And I just was very open about it. I live a polyamorous lifestyle. I'm openly involved with several married men at once. Not that I'm 3 a day, more like...
Who's got that energy, Gweneth, right?
Not us.
But I think that one of the things that made it most famous was when someone asked me a number and they said, how many had you had an affair with? And I said, it could have easily been over 100 married men. And I think it probably got misinterpreted that was like what I did on a weekend.
Busy.
I don't know, in a month.
Do you know what I'm really intrigued about? Was this a choice of profession, or how did you fall into it? And I mean, did you sign up on a website or something?
Or is it even
a friend?
Even is it a profession, or is it just like you said, it's a way of life, right?
Is it word of mouth?
Yeah. I mean, when I was living full time in London, now I kind of split my time because my mom's elderly. When I was living in London full time, as a London girl, you're traveling, you're doing all this stuff. I had a business. I was running an office, my own business. I had a consultancy based out of Geneva, Hong Kong, and Singapore. So I was on airplanes all the time. And, men are simple creatures. Men want someone who's convenient. Regular dating wasn't working. And there was a married dating site called Illicit Encounters. A girlfriend of mine had joined basically because her husband had gone impotent from some medicine he was taking. My partner at the time I was living with had gone impotent as well. And I was just like, I need something on the side, and kind of joined the site, started a lovely affair. My relationship ended. And then I just kept going on the website and meeting new fresh men. An affair starts, an affair ends. Affairs aren't for everybody, especially married people. And so, that's just kind of how it went.
And I must say, looking at you, you are absolutely stunning.
Oh my gosh, she's stunning.
Which I think helps as well.
Well,
and just your personality, talking to you now, you're like, you're vibrant. I can see why men are attracted to you and why you would be fun to go out with. This is the other thing I was going to say, actually.
Can I just say, how dare you look like that in the morning? Yeah. That's really annoying. I was hoping we could be friends, but I don't know that we can now, Gweneth.
Absolutely stunning. I've forgotten my question now.
Sorry, I derailed you. I know that I have one. I love that you're just really open and honest about your lifestyle. And I think we've spoken about this quite a lot on the show. We're all kind of brought up to believe that, we do things a certain way and we get together and we get married and we have children and we get mortgages and we me. And actually, as time goes on, that just doesn't fit in with most people's lifestyles. And we're trying to kind of put a square peg in a round hole. It doesn't work.
I mean, there are obviously a lot of people that are quite happy with that. But then is monogamy for everybody?
No. And my question, I guess, is, are you finding that more people are open to this lifestyle? And is it something that you openly talk about with your family and your friends? And do you think that it could actually help? Let's just let her answer one at a time. God, Lisa, we're throwing a million questions.
My brain is working overtime here.
Can you tell we're excited?
You know what it was? Over the years when I've done these interviews and stories, what's interesting is the amount of women who write me in private message. And they just say, I've been having an affair, I'm in a loveless marriage, my husband doesn't give me what I need sexually. And, I'm surprised how many women were actually nice about it. I mean, haters be haters, as we say. I mean, there's always going to be people who think if you paint your toenails red, that you're an idiot. I mean, there's going to be somebody who doesn't like anything about you. But what I do believe is that as women's careers come more forward and people are used to women being in the workforce and having lives that are just as busy as men, you have to accept that women live lifestyles that were viewed as male lifestyles. Yeah. I mean, traveling nonstop, picking somebody up in a bar in a hotel at the Ritz-Carlton in Hong Kong. Women are doing it too. Men aren't doing it with other men. Men are doing it with women. And who are those women?
That just sounds sexy though, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Just picking up a guy in the Ritz-Carlton.
It's just
Hong
things
Kong.
that you see in movies, isn't it?
I love it.
As one does.
So do you know what I was going to ask you actually? As we all know on this show, my favourite topic is always talking about kinks.
Loves a kink, does
Love a
Lisa?
Kink. Never knew about her before. Yeah, she loves it too. This is where we're going to get on. So, situations that you've been in, has there ever been a weird situation that someone's been into something really kinky that's not really your bag? Can you tell us of, maybe an uncomfortable situation?
Well, here's the thing. I think that there's a kink for everyone, and I'm pretty open-minded. I don't actually remember a time I wasn't kinky. I mean, I started kinky in my teens.
Told you, my kind of girl.
I lost my virginity in a threesome. And, as these things happen, what you don't know is abnormal, you assume is the normal. And so, I've been kinky. I love latex. I love going to dinner with men who have handcuffs on under their business suit, wearing my lace panties.
That was like a gasp for breath then, Mel.
Love that.
Yeah. I had an affair with a man for 10 years. On our second year, he said, I want to introduce something. And he said, let's introduce kink. And I was like, babe, let's book a dungeon. And, and that went on for years and years until I literally, if I'm allowed to say it on the show.
Yes, say it. Say it.
One thing where he had to do a speech at the Four Seasons. His family was flying in from, I'll just say, a Scandinavian country, to be there for him, where he presented for the government of his Scandinavian country. And I literally strung him from the ceiling in a dungeon, threw water on him, electrocuted him, and then sent him to the Four Seasons in London to give a speech in front of all the council. And for the first time in his life, and he was in his 50s then, he got a standing ovation.
Wow.
In more ways than one, I imagine, Gweneth.
Filled with that electricity. Can you imagine all the way through?
Yeah. Literally.
Completely.
Literally. Yeah.
But I think you've actually really hit on something there, that just shows you that somebody that is feeling happy and fulfilled goes on to have success in their life because they're feeling good about themselves. The other question I had, oh my God, so many. We're so going to get you on a night out next time you're in London.
I'm back in April.
Okay, we're going to book you in. Has it ever got close to being caught out by a wife or a girlfriend or a partner? Has it ever been a situation where it's got a little bit too close for comfort?
I've had wives call me before. I mean, I've had affairs in a lot of different countries. Now that I'm living a bit stateside, not just full time in London and Holland, which is, I was splitting my time between those. Now I split it between California and London. I've had wives call me. And to be honest, I mean,
do you ever have any kind of guilt or anything like that? Or is it?
He found me. I didn't go and knock on someone's door and steal a husband. I'm not pulling someone's husband out of their house.
They're coming looking for you or similar. Yeah.
I have married dating sites. And so they put themselves there, and women can join these sites for free. The men pay to join. So if a man.
So it's a conscious decision, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, it's conscious. I mean, so can you blame me? If it wasn't me, it'd be someone else.
Yep.
And I mean, it could be someone who wants to scam him for a ton of money. I have my own money. I have family money. I've had businesses all over the world. I'm an entrepreneur. You have up years and down years, like every human on the planet. But I mean, at the end of the day, most of the men I had affairs with because they were hot.
Yeah. And that was it. It's an exchange, right?
Oh, absolutely. And I mean, some of these men were great at advising me on businesses I've run as a serial entrepreneur. You always need and perspectives that are different. I mean, men who sat on the boards of billion-dollar companies really can give a simple woman like me advice for my little startup. You know what I mean?
So it's not all just about sex. I suppose it's about company. I'm talking about company as in just having a friendship there. But the thing
I'm getting it.
The one thing I do want to ask. is, I know we're like this constantly, like. But the one thing I do want to ask is obviously just for our listeners is, I suppose it's not pro kind of having affairs. Do you think personally, can it help a marriage?
I think so.
Absolutely.
This is the thing. I think if men come and they're looking for something different, could it actually save a marriage? So putting a positive note on like what people might think is a negative.
Absolutely. I'll give you a great example if you don't mind.
No, please.
I was having an affair with, I'll say an accountant. He was one of the first men I had an affair with. We had an affair that went kind of on and off for about a year and a half. And literally, he came to me because he had built a back patio, he had built a man cave, he had built all these things, was running marathons, running himself ragged because his wife had chosen to stop being intimate. And he was going bonkers. And he loved his wife, but nothing he could do. And he was in great shape. I mean, he looked like a lumberjack underneath his clothes. He was phenomenally, and a runner, just fitter than a butcher's dog, and a phenomenal lover. But, our affair was this and that. And suddenly his wife started changing at home. He bought her some Agent Provocateur because he knew that brand from me wearing it. And he gave it to her 1 year. She stuck it in a drawer. And then after about 2 years into our affair, he came home and she was standing in their bedroom wearing it and just ravaged him. And
wow.
She'd had a threesome with him for the first time.
No. The jealousy.
They shagged a neighbor's wife when the husband fell asleep. And he was like, I don't know what happened. But he ended the affair immediately and just went, I don't know what happened. If my wife needed to create, I don't know, but I can't do. And I said, no problem. No, I wish you well. Call me. I want the story.
See, this is what I love to hear, that there's like,
this is amazing. I think, but my nan always said that a little bit of jealousy is always a good thing. And sometimes that's what happens in a long-term relationship. The jealousy goes, you become complacent. And to have that, there is something in that just going, I might lose you, or somebody else, you're attracted to somebody else. Let me take it back.
Yeah. I agree with you. Is just really the death march in a relationship, because she had become complacent. He had become complacent trying. He was like, I can't do this anymore. I'm trying. I'm taking care of myself. I look good. I cook the dinner.
And that's the thing in relationships, when you're constantly trying and it's just not going anywhere. But listen, Gweneth, I really don't want to have to cut you, but we've literally come into the end of the podcast, so we're going to have to cut you. But we are going to talk more. And we'd love to maybe next time you're over in London, come in and tell us some more of your wonderful stories.
Yes, actually, why don't we do that? Why don't we, after the show, let's talk. And when you're over in London, why don't we get you to come in and we'll drink we'll get some really lovely wine in, and we'll chat, and then we'll go and paint the town red.
Can talk kink if you want.
We can say that again?
We can talk kink if you want. I love talking about kink.
Lisa will be here for days, Gweneth. She's a big fan of the kink.
And I'm also a big fan of the great stories that come out of it, and how it does help, some relationships. But listen, wonderful to talk to you. Thank you for taking the time.
And just you go and be fabulous for the rest of the day. But don't waste that outfit, because you look amazing. So go and do something fabulous.
See you later, my lovely. Bye. Well, she was amazing.
Oh my God, amazing. I love her.
Yeah, she was great to talk to. But listen, we've got a few minutes left, so we're going to talk about our weekly love line. So I've got a letter here. Hi, girls. I've been in a relationship with my boyfriend for a couple of years now. All is great, but there's one thing that raises a few alarm bells.
There always is.
And I wonder what you think. Okay, so basically, I earn significantly more money than him. It's not something I'm particularly bothered by. Actually, I quite like being the independent female breadwinner. But over the past few months, I've noticed he's been asking for money here and there. Not massive amounts, but it's all starting to add up now. Just quickly interject there. I think you don't mind helping somebody out, but I think if it's just constant and they're not actually trying to help themselves, then it becomes a niggle. It's like leaving up the toilet seat, isn't it?
It's an ick.
Yeah. I probably wouldn't be too bothered if I knew he was putting the money to good use. But it's usually just for going out with the lads. So basically, she's paying for his lifestyle. Something that really annoys me, betting on the football. How would you approach him about it? I don't want to rock the boat because I do love him, but I just wish that he'd maybe push himself a bit harder work-wise. So if he wanted to spend money on rubbish, at least it's not mine. What do you think?
Hold on. He uses her money to bet on the football.
That's what she's saying.
See, now that would irritate the life out of me. Now, if you're in a relationship and you're living, I don't know if they're living together or whatever, but at the beginning, it might be, I think
that'd be even worse if they weren't living together.
I think if you're together and you're you split bills, you're going to have weeks where you're more flush or
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
more flush, and it swings and roundabouts, right? Get that. If somebody's earning more money than the other person, I don't have a problem with saying I earn a bit more than you. It's cool. I'll get this
fine,
one. It's not a problem. That's not an issue.
Because I think that the hierarchy of a man and a woman these days, women do earn.
Sometimes they do earn.
Yeah,
So
not always. Sometimes, yeah.
And I think
it's not such a bad thing.
I think a lot of women historically wouldn't have minded if a man said, no, listen, go and treat yourself. I've got a bit of extra cash. Go and get your nails done or get your hair done or have a night out with the girls.
I love that, don't you?
I love that. But I also don't have a problem with it being the other way around.
Yeah.
The issue for me there was he wants to spend it betting on the football. No, spend your own money gambling, pal. Not my hard-earned cash.
And that's the thing, I think also, like, if it was spending money on, like, he wanted an outfit or if he needed some money to pay some bills or privately, but then actually just going down the pub, spending money on beer, probably, and just on the football. And you know what? It sounds like it's not just being the one-off.
No,
it sounds
definitely.
like it's a regular kind of a whole seasonal thing.
I don't have a massive issue with saying, do you know what? Just go out with the boys. If I've got 50 quid or so that wouldn't get you far these days.
Yeah.
But take some money and go and have a night out.
Yeah.
That doesn't worry me. Quite frankly, I wish Ashley would go out more because I quite like having the house to myself and the remote control.
Ashley, do you hear that? She said you can ask her for money anytime and go out.
You
more.
can go out. But I think for me, the issue is that just there's something about that betting on the football that. Well, that doesn't
I think
right
it's
with
just.
me.
It sounds like to me that this has been going on for some time.
Yeah.
Like I think anything is a pattern, and also as we know, seasonal football. Season ticket will last from September right through to May, June. That's a long time if he's not earning the same kind of money and he's wanting to have that. So you need to have this conversation with him. And
I think. You need to set boundaries from the beginning because what you start to allow to happen can quite easily become a habit.
Yeah.
And it gets taken for granted.
And then if you offer and say, like, you know what, it's all right, I earn more money than you, have this little bit of money, then maybe he's just taken use of it.
Kindness for weakness is a thing that happens a lot. Are you kicking me to tell me I need to shut up?
No,
or did you just kick the table?
But yes, I'm kicking you to shut up, Mel, now. But listen, we've run out of time, as usual. But listen, we love you guys. Thank you always for listening to us. And remember to go onto our Instagram, which is at outlandish.live.
There's loads of clips of all of our madness and stupidness. Leave us comments. We love to see the comments.
Yeah, we love to see it. And also follow Mel at It's Mel Cameron and follow me
at It's Lisa Nash. Soon to be It's Loves a Kink Nash.
Might have to change my profile soon.
And don't forget to just hit that follow and subscribe button on Apple and Spotify podcasts. And we'll be back same time next week for more of our shenanigans.
Yeah.
Just before we go.
I know what you're going to do. What you're going to do.
There was a word that she asked me to pronounce earlier on. She's like, how do I say this word again? And then I went,
look at my uncomfortableness.
Because I was like, what happened? I thought you were going to say that word. And she went, I forgot it. Oh, thank God for that. What was the word? What was the word?
Masochism. Did I say right?
Oh,
I've been saying masochism. I can't wait.
You
masochism.
mugged me off then. Well, that would teach me, wouldn't it?
See ya.